Hi class. So today we're going to talk about how to divide a decimal by a whole number. The steps are simple. You divide as usual and ignore the decimal. After dividing, you simply line up the decimal and place it in the quotient. So let's look at how this works. In this example, it says 12 scarves cost $27.24. How much does each scarf cost? So I'm trying to find the cost of one scarf. So this is a division problem. So I'm going to do $27.24 and divide that by 12 to find the cost per scarf. All I have to do here, since my divisor is a whole number, is I just line up the decimal with the decimal and the number I'm dividing by, and then divide as usual. So 12 doesn't go into 2, but it goes into 27 2 times. Make sure you put that 2 on top of the 7, because 12 goes into 27 2 times. 2 times 12 is 24. Find my remainder, which is 3. Bring down my 2, and I start dividing again. 12 goes into 32 only 2 times again. 2 times 12 is 24. I'm able to do this one pretty easily because I know my 12 times table. We'll look at a harder one in a few minutes. Now I subtract. After a little regrouping here. 12 minus 4 is 8, and 2 minus 2 is 0. Since I have a remainder, I keep bringing down the next number, and I now divide 12 into 84. And I know 12 times 7 is exactly 84. And once you have a remainder of 0, you are finished. So that means each scarf costs $2.27. Now I want you to try an example. I want you to try this example. I want you to pause the video, and when you finish, unpause it and we'll work it out together. Now you've had a chance to try it, let's look it over together and see how you did. A hose is used to fill a pond. After 8 minutes, it has filled 59.2 liters of water. How many liters did it fill in 1 minute? Thinking back to Unit 1, we're trying to find a unit rate. How much for 1? And we know when we find unit rates, we divide. So we're dividing 59.2 by 8. Again, I'm dividing by a whole number, so I can just pop my decimal in, line it up, and divide as usual. So 8 doesn't go into 5, but 8 goes into 59 7 times, because 7 times 8 is 56. Remainder 3. I bring down my next digit, which is a 2. And 8 goes into 32 exactly 4 times. Because 4 times 8 is 32. I have a remainder of 0, so I am finished. Did you get it right? The answer is 7.4 liters of water in 1 minute. Make sure you write the unit if it's a word problem. I want to show you one more example of dividing by a large number. Take a look at this one. A piece of rope is 87.22 meters long. If it is divided into 15 equal pieces, how long will each piece be? Well, it tells us to divide in this problem. Anytime we're cutting something up, we're dividing. So 87.22, this time I'm dividing by 15, which makes it a little bit harder because I don't know my 15 times tables. So I'm going to have to guess and check a little bit as I go. I know that 15 doesn't go into 8, but 15 does go into 87. Guessing and checking, I'm going to guess that 15 goes into 87 about 5 times. I'm going to check my guess by multiplying, since I don't know my 15 times tables. 5 times 5 is 25. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 2 is 7. So my guess was good. It goes, 15 goes into 87 5 times. pop in my decimal there, because 5 times 15 was 75, I just figured that out. Now I subtract, and I bring down. Make sure you're working neatly and you're lining up your numbers. Now I have to divide 15 into 122. I know it's going to be more than 5. I'm going to try 8. 15 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40. 1 times 8 is 8 plus 4 is 12. So I got very close to the number I'm dividing by here. So 15 goes into 122 8 times. Pop that up there because 8 times 15 is 120. Now I subtract, and I get a remainder of 2. I'm not finished yet because I have to get all the way to the end of the number. Bring down that 2, and I divide again. 15 into 22, that's only 1 time. 1 times 15 is 15. I subtract, and I still have a remainder here. I have a remainder of 7. So what I want you to do, if you still have a remainder, but you got to the end of the number, is I want you to add a 0 and keep dropping those zeros and keep dividing. So we're now back to 15 divided into 70. Well, I know 15 times 5 was 75. I already figured that out. So it must be 4 times. 4 times 15, I can figure that out mentally, is 60. When I subtract, I get a remainder of 10, which means I have to drop another 0. Now I divide 15 into 100. Well, I know 15 times 8 was 120. I'm going to try 15 times 7. 15 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. 1 times 7 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. 105. A little bit too big. So it must be 6 times. 15 times 6 is 90. I didn't work that out, but you can always check your guesses. And you'll notice something here. My remainder is 10 again. If I were to drop another 0, I would be dividing 15 into 100 again, and I would keep getting 6. That means 6 is going to keep repeating over and over and over. So I can stop here and put a bar over the 6. And my answer is 5.8146. Now that was a long and difficult problem. 5.8146 repetitive, and that was meters. So that would be my answer. It would be acceptable in this problem to round to the nearest tenth. Since this is a piece of rope, and I'm probably not going to be measuring to smaller than the tenth of a meter. So you could round it to 5.8 meters. Good luck with dividing by whole numbers, and I will see you tomorrow.